Okay, Pete. Welcome back to another Fwoosh review. Today, let's take a look at the Medicom MAFEX Marvel MCU Black Panther. I forgot I had pre-ordered this. Don't get me wrong, I'm always down for replacing a figure in my MCU shelf, but MAFEX being what it is, Medicom being what it is, they just pop up whenever they feel like it. Which is okay, actually. I'm down for surprises when it can happen. We're living in this age where we know everything, so when something just shows up at my doorstep, cool. Looking at the box, it's your standard MAFEX fare. It's the window, it's the graphics, it's the logos. It feels kind of like dollar store. I don't know. There's always been something cheap about the MAFEX packaging, but at the same time, this is the trash between me and plastic, so I'm okay. On the side, pretty promotional shot of the figure, MAFEX number 091. On the back, more promotional shots of the figure itself, everything it comes with, some of the poses, a little bit of legalese, a little bit of website. On the other side, more promotional shot. On the top, Black Panther logo. Bottom, a lot more legalese. Hologram to show that this is official product. Ooh, their telephone number's on here. I never noticed that before. Anyway, I'm gonna get this open, see what's going on here. As always, the stand is just floating around in the background. Well, it looks as though, as I was moving it, a piece of tape snagged right there. So it's not totally loose. And I rarely talk about the Medicom stand simply because it's pretty basic. There's the clear base. That plugs into that comes up, round, and then a big old clampy clamp on the end. It just feels a little clunky, and that's on top of the arm itself being fairly weak. The screws right there, you can tighten it up, but I've got so many other stands, I rarely mess with this. Oh, getting it out of the package. It's not centered, hold on. Getting it out of the package, it is one sleek, sexy action figure, and I am not too ashamed to admit it. Just look at the proportions here. It's strong but lithe, it's athletic but agile. I don't know what else to say about this. This is Black Panther in plastic form. It is a great human, almost seemingly naked form. But you get up close, it is not naked at all. Of course, it has all the Black Panther elements, the silver, sharp, talon-looking edges. And on the forearm, you come up to the neck, it has that necklace. Down on the legs, you have these coming around the top of the boot. And then, of course, on the toes and the fingernails. But looking past that, there's even texture to what could have been flat spots on the costume. It's nice and subtle. It doesn't stick out at you. You don't notice it until you get up close to it, but man, it's just the whole figure. Running through all that are these stripes with geometric shapes and lines and little just sculpt work going all through the whole thing. It just looks fantastic, on top of that being a gloss black against the very matte black of the body itself. The light dances off parts of it. It brings it out whenever you're moving it, you're turning it, you look at it on the shelf. I can't help it. Everything is so subtle, it works so well together. And that's not even mentioning how well it works as an action figure, because all the articulation is just worked so well into the overall form. It's there, of course, you're gonna see the lines and the breaks and everything, but I don't know, maybe it's the color of the costume, or maybe it's just Medicom sculpting the hell out of this thing to integrate everything together. The more I mess with it, the more I gotta say, hell of a job. Ooh. And that's the same up at the head. You have the silver of the eyes, and then the ornate details around the eyes, the face. And that's playing against the different sheens of blacks here. It's just beautiful. And the face sculpt itself, there's a presence. He looks angry. He looks pissed. There's almost a mouth there. Like, oh man, you know what? I've never noticed that until looking at this, but there is a panther face to it. One thing that did throw me off when I got it out of the package was the arms. They seem really long, but when I go looking at Chadwick Boseman in the movie, when he's standing straight up and down, he seems to have arms that long. Plus you have the ability to kind of shift up and shorten them up just a little bit. But in action poses, they do seem a little bit lengthy. But again, if it fits the actor, if it fits the character, then I have nothing to gripe about, do I? Going over articulation, there is a dumbbell joint at the top of the neck, and then a ball joint at the bottom of the neck going into the torso. So that allows down movement, but not quite burying the chin in the chest. But very nice up. And most of all, ooh, tilt, swivel, long ball joint coming out of the torso into the shoulder with this shoulder cap. I don't know, that may, oh yeah, that's on a butterfly joint. So this assembly is ball jointed out to the shoulder because you also get up and down in there. Or some kind of magic, I don't know what's going on in there. It just allows for a lot of movement. Shoulder hinges up, swivels around, rotation at the bicep, double elbow, all the way up. Look at that. Swivel hinge, swivel at the wrist so you can hinge And then you take it here and you can go up and down. Ball joint in the torso, if there was any hindered movement in this figure, I would say it's in the torso area. Mid-torso comes forward, goes back, goes side, goes side. There's also a ball joint at the bottom that goes this far, around, back, side. You think, oh, that's not really hindered, but, oh, he can also look up. Look at that. But moving it that far down moves this piece down into the crotchal region. So if you try to lift the leg, you're crashing. So you have to bring it up just a little bit, and that allows the leg to come on up. Now there is a drop down there, so you can get more movement. You can get more crunch. I take it back. I said hindered, but look at that. What the hell was I talking about? And it also helps that this piece right here is rubbery, so it does get out of the way. Back, out. There is rotation up there inside that assembly. Then you shift the leg back up into the crotch. Double knee, I haven't actually done this. Let's see. Oh, yep, bing. Can kick his own ass. Same setup at the ankle as the wrist. You can go side to side like this. It hinges back. It hinges way forward. There's a forward-facing pin for rocker. And then there's a toe joint that goes all the way up. For accessories, he comes with several sets of hands. He comes with 2 fists. He comes with 2 relaxed hands. He comes with 2 splayed out hands. He comes with kind of attack hands, I guess I'd call those. And then he comes with 2 grip hands. It's fairly easy to pop them off, especially the ones that came on it in the package. But I have noticed with a couple, especially the attack hands, they're a little bit tight to push on top of that being sharp. So don't push, don't push from there. Kind of grip the wrist, push it together, and there you go. He also comes with this ceremonial blade. I really like the sculpt here. The metal parts look metal. They're a little bit plain. They're just kind of silver, but it's a nice contrast against the wrap in the middle with the purples and the blacks and the golds and the extra sculpted detail. And to put that in the grip hand, you remove the blade itself and then slip that through. Problem being, whoo, that's tight as hell. I did it once. I'm leaving that in his hand from now on. Whenever I want to switch it out, I'll just pull the hand off, put another hand on. That hand holds the blade from here to eternity now. Putting the blade back into the grip though, be careful because there is a flat side to the peg, so you have to kind of find where that is and then slip it in. We looked at the standard head. It's very nice looking. It's made me realize details that I didn't even know were there in the first place, but it also has this alternate head where you can see T'Challa's eyes under the mask. Again, it's just one of those subtle little details that it's hard to notice, but it does give kind of a classic flavor to it. And that just pops off the top of the ball joint. This one pops on. Since the other one was on it in the package, it's just a little bit looser. This one pops on and it's a tight grip because when you pull it off, it wants to pull the whole neck assembly out, which actually works in your favor. Because it also comes with an alternate unmasked T'Challa head that has its own neck piece. And here it looks pretty good. I like the shade work. The skin, just like every other MAFEX figure, a little bit plain. But I think with the beard here, I don't know. This one looks better than a lot of other MAFEX offerings. Now, like the other one, that also pops off. I recommend doing this because it's easier to grip this and push down than to have the head on, another joint in between you, you're trying to push down, because this one is a little bit tight. In fact, when you get it on there, it doesn't seem to move as much as the other neck for whatever reason. But that's okay. You put the T'Challa head on, and it seems a little bit small. I don't know. It's kind of out of proportion with the rest of the body. And I'm not talking about arm length or anything like that. Just overall, it just seems tiny. I don't know. I really like the head with the eyes in it. Height-wise, he stands at, well, pretty much 6 inches tall exactly. Whoa, and I didn't expect this. Here he is with the SH Figuarts Black Panther and the SH Figuarts Civil War Captain America. I always thought the Figuarts was big and kind of buffy, but I didn't expect MAFEX to come in and actually nail the 6-inch scale. It's more lithe. It's more in proportion here. Did Medicom just make a better SH Figuarts Black Panther than the SH Figuarts Black Panther? We know the Medicom MAFEX comic book line is a little bit larger, but here it is with the Spider-Man and Deadpool from that line. Here it is with the Hasbro Marvel Legends Black Panther and Killmonger, and this is more closer to straight up 6-inch scale, or SH Figuarts scale. Because here it is with the Marvel Legends Nakia and Captain America from Endgame. Fudgeable. So at the end of the day, for something that I had forgotten I pre-ordered, holy moly, this just made my day. That's awesome. It's way better than I expected it to be. Not that I have anything against MAFEX anymore. MAFEX has surprised me time and again over the past year or two. Hell, even longer, isn't it? It's just how everything works together here. The sculpt, along with the articulation being just well hidden within it, the movement of that articulation without getting all crazy gapped up and stuff. The quality, everything is nice and tight, maybe a little too tight in the hips, there's some squeakies, but I can't help it. I'd rather it be a little bit tight than loosey-goosey. That's just me, though. There could probably be more accessories for what Medicom is charging for these days, but I don't know. What would I do with more than the unmasked head and the alternate head and these hands and the spear? It'd go in a box and I wouldn't see it for years, but at the same time, if we're not getting that stuff, let's lower the price a little bit, because $80, $90, $100, that's getting out of a lot of people's price ranges, including mine. I'm not made of money here, but I just like good toys, and this is a good toy. Even though it is expensive, I can't help it. I would recommend this all day. I'm kind of glad I didn't get the last SH Figure Arts Black Panther, because this fits that role perfectly. This is going on my MCU shelf. It's replacing, well, the SH Figure Arts I have, and he'll probably be among the rest of the team there. I know this review was gushing just from beginning to end. I didn't mean for it to be that way. I expected to have some nitpicks, some hiccups, and I can't even... I pointed out the arm length, but even that's justified, so I ain't got nothing bad to say about it. Buy this figure. So if you enjoyed the review, comment, like, subscribe. I'll catch you on the Fwoosh.